Welcome to Optily Radio, your regular 30-minute dose of everything you need to accelerate your e-commerce marketing success.
Welcome back to another episode of Optily Radio. I'm your host, Nina White, and today I'm really excited to welcome Mia Bobak to the virtual studio with us. Mia is a technology partner manager at Gorgias, where she collaborates with technology partners to strengthen better together relationships and achieve joint goals. Prior to Gorgias, Mia has experience building and scaling partner programs from the ground up. And from the Optily team, we have Adam Vaira joining us today. Adam is our client strategy consultant who has guided many store owners on the best strategies and solutions for growing their businesses, while also being a store owner himself. Welcome to the show, Mia and Adam.
Hello. Happy to be here.
Yeah, hi Nina, hi Mia. Happy to be here as well.
Awesome, great. Well, why don't you start off, Mia, by telling us a bit about yourself, your background, and what it is you do now at Gorgias.
Yeah, definitely. So like Nina mentioned, I am the technology partner manager here at Gorgias. So I work with our ISV tech partners to, build out integrations, work together to achieve joint business goals, all that fun stuff. Prior to Gorgias, I do have experience building and growing partner programs from the ground up, and then also working with D2C brands in the partnership and marketing realm. So yeah, really excited to be here and excited to chat about all things customer support, customer experience, and how everything is changing in 2022 and beyond.
Awesome. Yeah, it's a really interesting topic. And one of the things that I've always kind of wondered with is, do you consider maybe customer service as a part of branding, a part of marketing, kind of both, or is it neither and kind of stands on its own kind of two legs? Where does customer service stand exactly in your mind?
Yeah, definitely. So I honestly would consider it both, because having stellar customer service becomes a true quality of your brand. Like if you're known for having and providing an exceptional customer experience, that becomes like a true pillar of your brand. People will share their experience with their friends and have that word of mouth marketing. But it's also part of marketing because there's so many pre-sale opportunities to convert more customers through exceptional customer support. So I'd really say it's definitely, it plays a role in both.
Anybody can put on their website, oh, we have 5-star customer service, 24/7, this and that. But if you don't execute upon that, then it's, ineffective branding, it's ineffective marketing, and, using tools to really improve that customer experience just goes a long way.
Definitely. And you just mentioned that there's a very important part in terms of the pre-sale aspect. So that kind of gets me into conversion rate optimization. And what role does live chat and customer service play in that, customer journey and the CRO when they still have not made a purchase?
Yeah, so live chat, is of course great for post-purchase support, like, where's my order, all that good stuff. But really the secret sauce of live chat is actually using it for pre-purchase engagement. So like, let's say when a customer is on your website and they click on to, one of your best-selling products, at that point, you should really have your chat widget pop up, have some sort of message that says like, a picture of a support agent saying, hey, like happy to help you find some of our best selling products, really have them engage with you proactively. So you're prompting them to have this conversation with an agent and you're capturing them pre-purchase. So as they're, browsing the website, you're really able to engage with them right away and drive them into making a purchase.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. And that was sort of my follow-up question to this, which you kind of touched on already, is at what point should the live chat, really trigger to kind of, not be intrusive, but also not be like way too late in the game. Sometimes you only just clicked on a website, either through a Google search or a Facebook ad, and all of a sudden it's like a pop-up promotion. There's a live chat. Hi, can I help you? And it's like, whoa, I haven't even seen your products yet.
Yep.
So like, what do you feel like is the optimal time to kind of trigger that, hey, I'm here to help kind of little friendly message?
Yeah, I think it's really important to be strategic about when your live chat it triggers. I think that's really the key piece there is being strategic about it. So there's a couple different, avenues you can take with this. So like I mentioned before, when someone clicks onto a product, like let's say you're having a sale for that specific product or that's one of your best sellers, like that's when you can have live chat pop up and proactively engage them. Or you can also like give it a couple minutes. Let the customer like view your homepage, like embrace the moment for a second, take a breather, and then after, maybe a minute, have the live chat pop up, ask if they need help finding anything or navigating the website. So I think having that strategic piece is really key. You don't want everything like popping up all at once. And then like when that happens, like we're all consumers, we get it. When we go onto a website and everything's all at once, it's like, oh God, this is far too much, like way too much at once. So you want to be really strategic and thoughtful about it. And that's how you'll really see the biggest gain.
Yep, that definitely makes sense.
Yeah. And I think on that strategic piece as well, like having, some slight delays in there potentially when people scroll down to an FAQ page and maybe having a trigger at that stage too, then allowing like, yes, they're certainly interested in this product. They're looking for their questions to be answered. A lot of times too, I know myself as a consumer, I just want to talk to somebody. And so yes, the answers may be on the page, but having some of that live chat available to you and answer some of those questions directly with the person, whether it's with a live person or just through some automated chat situations there, really can provide a lot of value to the customer.
Yeah, 100%. And on that same note, a good example could also be like, let's say you click onto a page's About Us tab. And on that About Us page, you share all of the information about like, let's say your skincare brand, the history of your formulations. You can have a live chat pop up that says like, hey, I would love to share more about how we, established our first product or share more information about why our best-selling product that we established in 19 something is so great for you. So there's so many different opportunities. Live chat is a really great growth marketing hack because you can experiment with so many different options.
Definitely, definitely. So that definitely brings you right into the next point. But what would be some of the key impact drivers of exceptional customer service that you've noticed?
Yeah, so we've actually at Gorgias, we've looked at this. Our mission at Gorgias is to help our merchants provide what we call level 5 exceptional customer support. So on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being, pretty poor customer support, 5 being like exceptional, think Amazon gold standard customer support. Our mission is to help our merchants get to level 5, provide that exceptional tier. So when we're looking at level 5 customer support, some of those main impact drivers are having, a decent amount of automation. So around 30% of all of the support tickets that you're getting are automated. And so when you think of, some opportunities there, and we can get into that in a moment, like that post-purchase customer support, like a lot of that can be automated. Where's my order? Tracking information, returns, cancellations. You can automate a lot of that support volume. So then your support agents can put more focus on those pre-purchase opportunities, on having those pre-sale conversations with your customers. So that's one of the main impact drivers of like exceptional level 5 support. And then you also want to look at the channels that you're present on. So if your brand is on, email, chat, SMS, voice, social media, you're everywhere your customers are, you're creating a community with your customers. You're creating a constant conversation with your customers. So that's another major impact driver. You're present on a high number of channels. And then lastly, you also have a high number of integrations in your help desk. So this is a really big impact driver because if you're not using a tool to help you consolidate all of that support volume from all of those different channels that you're on, think of how inefficient your brand is being and your support agents are by clicking into a million different tabs, having like all of these different pages and tabs open and using a million different platforms. So when you're using one tool to consolidate all of that support volume and you have all of your tools integrated into your help desk, your agents are able to work so much more efficiently. So rather than switching between a million different tabs, you have it all in one place. So those are the key impact drivers there. High number of automation, high number of channels that you're present on, and then also keeping all of your tools in one place so you're super efficient.
Yeah, that's definitely key. I think in a lot of things, it's just kind of staying organized, but especially with that much volume when, people are contacting you from all over the place, just keeping it all straight. It's definitely staying organized and trying to, use automation to kind of help with, some of the things that are, frequently asked. Yep. Adam?
Yeah, I was going to add that, I think a lot of times as customers, whatever the issue may be, just you want to be heard. You want to talk to somebody, you want to email somebody, you want to have live chat. And so you need to be omni-channel support. But then also once you are at that stage, you need something to consolidate it because just, reiterating on Mia's point, just there's so much going on there. And so having tools to help you out and properly build those customer relations is just so important. And you can't do it all by yourself with one-off things. You really do need a consolidation point for all those processes.
Yeah, exactly.
So you mentioned automation obviously is something that is ramping up all over the place, but especially with customer service. So a little bit of a futuristic question. I'm sure you guys have lots of studies at Gorgias about this. What is coming? What's on the horizon in, a year or two in terms of the future of customer service, and what role will automation play in the years to come?
Yeah. So I like to call this the best friend era of customer support. Because especially in a post-pandemic world, customers want to create relationships with the brands that they're shopping from and that they're supporting. They want to feel valued by the brands they're supporting. They want to feel heard. They want to feel supported and like they're part of a community. So I think when we look at the future of customer service, it's no longer just helping a customer with their tracking information. We're going to start seeing more and more communities popping up. So brands are already, starting to do this, but we're going to see more and more brands start to do this, creating communities with their customers. So when they are working with their customers pre-purchase to help them find that match made in heaven product, they're nurturing them post-purchase by creating a really loyal, seasoned group of VIP customers that are part of a community that, takes the entire customer experience to the next level. Because as customer expectations get higher and higher, customers want really, really fast support. They want help now, but they also don't want just a bot to help them, right? They also want that personalized experience. They want to connect with a real person. They want to have the option to connect with a real person. So when you take those two pillars as a brand, it's like, okay, they want really fast support and they also want it to be personalized as well. It's like, how can you do that as a brand? Well, communities are a really great option. And then also, of course, having some really great customer support tools in your tech stack. So I guess to sum it all up, the future of customer support is just having that balance of personalization and automation, making your customers feel really supported and heard, but then also providing fast support for that more simpler support volume like post-purchase questions.
And so on that community side of things, do you see that taking place in a Facebook group, a Discord, some other channel, or what does that typically look like?
Yeah, exactly. So to your point, you mentioned Facebook and Discord. Those are both really great, platforms to use for communities. I've noticed more and more brands creating Facebook communities, which I think is really great. There's tons of engagement going on in there. Customers posting, when they get, if you have a subscription model company, they're posting when they get their new box in or when they get their new products in or new releases. So creating that sense of community is so important. And I think to your point, you mentioned is two really great options. Both Discord and Facebook communities are so valuable. And if your brand, is just starting to explore with the option of doing a community, I think Facebook is a really great starting point. And from there, you can build on by doing, different newsletters for your communities. There's so many opportunities there.
It's very interesting you mentioned SMS. Like, what do you feel like is the best way to sort of tackle SMS without it being really spammy, especially in the e-commerce realm?
Yeah, definitely. So I love this question because a lot of the times when brands are exploring SMS, it's like, let's just do a blast. Let's do a spray and pray blast, tell them about our newest promotion. They're going to love it. But I would not recommend that. When you're doing SMS and you're adding SMS as a channel into your customer support strategy, what you really want to use SMS for is two-way dialogue. You want your campaigns to spark a conversation with your customers. So another good example of who does this well is our customer Olipop. So Olipop actually saw a 13x increase in sales via support by using Gorgias and one of our SMS partners to create two-way conversations with their customers through their SMS campaigns. And so that key piece there is that two-way dialogue. You don't want to just blast your customers and, annoy them and just have it, unread and unanswered. You want to be really thoughtful and strategic with this. You want to create a conversation. And like I mentioned before, it's kind of like that best friend era of customer support. So, you want to be able to have that conversation. So if you're letting them know about a sale and your customer writes back and says, oh, well, I don't get paid until Friday, like, is your sale still going to be going on? As a brand, you're like, yes, fill up that basket. Like, it's still going to be going on Friday. I'll send you a reminder so we can, so you can get all of your goodies. So you want to be able to create a conversation with your customers. So that's that key piece there. Be thoughtful about your campaigns that you're doing through SMS and have that two-way conversation. Be able to interact with your customers.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds much better than some of the SMSs that I've been getting, which are just like, here's a coupon, use it. It's like, okay, that could have been an email or a pop-up or literally any other medium. It's not particularly unique to SMS. So what you just said makes a whole lot of sense. So the other thing I've been wondering about is, what would you say is one of the top customer experience trends of 2022?
Yeah, the top trend I would say is actually using social media and SMS as a customer support channel. These are new channels that brands are just starting to add into their omni-channel strategy. There is so much opportunity. We touched on SMS already, so let's kind of dive into the social media aspect of it. There's so much pre-purchase opportunity with social media. And the thing is, yes, there's all of that opportunity. However, there's also a lot of customer expectation to be able to connect with your brand on social media and treating social media as a CS outlet, to be able to ask questions about products, about, different offerings, about different sales. Customers have questions and they're treating social media as a CS channel. So your brand really needs to add that channel into your CS strategy. And honestly, we can't blame consumers for that because, between different paid ads, between, different influencer marketing and social media marketing, customers have questions. Like, we're all consumers. So I know when I see an ad for a beautiful skirt, like, my thought is, okay, does it run small or big? Is there a collection so I can get a matching top? Like, we have questions about these products. And so as a brand, you want to be able to capture that opportunity. If a customer has a question about the, influencer who's showing off your products, and they reach out to your brand asking questions about it, you need to answer fast. You need to be able to capture, that opportunity and that momentum. So there's a lot of really good bits of gold by using and offering social media as a CS channel. So that, I would say, is definitely one of the top trends that we're noticing for customer support in 2022. And that's only going to increase throughout the years.
Awesome. Cool. So I think you've kind of touched on this and probably answered it a little bit in different ways. But what are ways that a brand can turn their customer support center into a profit center?
Yeah, definitely. So I'd say the biggest way to do that there and to turn your customer support into a profit center is by automating as much of the post-purchase, customer journey as you can. Like, when you look at post-purchase, a lot of customers just want to find their own answers, right? Like, I know that if I just bought something and I need to return it, like, I don't want to wait 12, 17 hours for a support agent to get back to me with a tracking slip. I would so much rather just do the return myself. And so that's really where, we have automation in place, but we also have self-serve. So that's another big trend that we'll start seeing come up more and more, is offering self-serve tracks for customers for post-purchase questions like returns, like cancellations or issues with their orders. So rather than creating a conversation with a support agent, you're able to just use these self-serve menu options. So you can just do it yourself, like, take care of it yourself. Customers want to do it themselves. So let's, give power back to the customer so they can handle that themselves. And if they have an issue, something unrelated to that, they can start a conversation with a real agent. So by offering self-serve to your customers, you're taking care of, again, like 30 to 40% of that simpler support volume. So then you can put the rest of your attention and the majority of your attention on the personalization piece, right? Focus more on those opportunities in social media to help engage with your community. Put that focus more on some of these, various chat campaigns that you can use on your website, right? So put the majority of that attention towards that pre-sale and pre-purchase opportunity, and you'll really start to see the benefits from it. Like, that is next level. That's how you turn your customer support tool into your conversion tool. Like, it's literally next level customer support.
Yep, definitely. People have gotten used to Amazon doing this for the past 10 years, so they've got their expectations high. Yeah, Adam?
Exactly.
And I think hitting on those conversion tools as well, something having really good post-purchase flows for reviews, and then also for everybody loves good product reviews, and then also too to prompt people for user-generated content too is so huge. Like, very much live in a PPC world myself, and so having those user-generated videos to really put in a middle and bottom of funnel campaign on Facebook, TikTok, wherever, it's just so important. And just automating as much as that as you can just helps so much from a post-purchase flow.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a really good point that you brought up about, user generated content. So, and that's the great thing about social media is, there's tons of customers who are going to be, tagging our brand, mentioning them. So a good question that I see come up all the time is like, okay, if we're going to be adding social media into our CS strategy, like, how the hell am I supposed to track everything? Like, there's so much that's coming in between mentions, DMs, comments. It's a lot of volume. So going back to what we were talking about earlier of like, okay, how do you make this possible? Like, how do you level up your customer support? Like, that's really where having good customer service tools comes really in handy, because if you have a help desk that's consolidating all of that into one place for you, including all of your Instagram mentions, DMs, comments into one place, you're able to add automation on top of that. So every time a new ticket is created from Instagram comments, and it detects like a positive sentiment, it detects that there's like positive pre-purchase opportunity there using machine learning, then tag it as a purchase opportunity. So then your support agents are able to filter like all of these different purchase opportunity tickets and just be like, it's next level. There's so much opportunity with it. Like, you can capture on that user generated content, you can capture on those opportunities. So social media is the next CS channel. There's so much untapped opportunity there.
Awesome. I think you may have just answered my next question, but if this is the answer, then we can just move past it. But I was going to ask what the sort of main pain point was that Gorgias addresses for small businesses. Is it just this huge volume of inputs, or is it something else, would you say?
Yeah, I think there's 3 main pain points that Gorgias helps address. So the first one is, of course, providing omni-channel support. So combining all of your support channels, whether that be email, chat, SMS, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, combining it all into one place for you. So as you get new Facebook messages, as you get new, Twitter mentions or Instagram DMs and comments, it's all creating those tickets in Gorgias. So you're consolidating all of that support volume into one place. So as a small business, you don't have to worry about okay, blocking off 2 hours to check Instagram and then blocking off 2 hours to go check Facebook and being super inefficient, right? Like, again, you're just wasting a ton of time. Your customers are waiting a long time. Like, you need to capture on those opportunities right away. So that's one of the biggest, pain points that Gorgias helps address, is just combining all of those channels into one place. The next one would be, strategic automated support. So backtracking a little bit when we were talking about how powerful automation is, I think it's also really important to mention that you have to be smart about the type of automation that you're offering, because I'm sure we've all had bad experiences with chatbots that are mimicking human behavior. Like, when you're talking to a robot and you're not talking to a human. Consumers are smart. They know when they're talking to a human, right? So you have to be strategic with your automated support. And when I was mentioning self-serve before, that's one of those strategic pieces about live chat, because you're not trying to mimic human behavior. You're showing literal, tracks, menu options that a consumer could take to, track their order or return their order, they know that they're going to get automated support, right? They don't think that they're about to talk to a human. They want to just do it themselves and, go through this track. So you need to be really strategic about your automation. And I think that's one of the biggest pain points that Gorgias helps with, is offering those self-serve tracks and then also having those live chat capabilities so you can, have a support agent discussing, pre-purchase conversations with customers when they're browsing your website. So having that automated support. And then the third pain point is sentiment detection. And I mentioned this briefly when we were talking about the opportunity of social media. So what sentiment detection is in Gorgias is all about machine learning and AI. So let's say, for example, you get a Instagram comment. That comment on your page will create a new ticket in Gorgias. With that, sentiment detection will be able to actually detect using machine learning if the sentiment of the message is positive or negative. So if it's positive, it can be tagged as a purchase opportunity. Again, so your brand can, respond accordingly, get them a discount code, drive them into making a purchase. If it's negative, again, you want to respond accordingly. You want to respond fast. You want to be able to make things right with that customer. What's wrong? You don't want to keep them, waiting. So the sentiment detection is a really key piece because you can add additional automation to that. Like I mentioned before about how you can add different tags if it's a purchase opportunity or if it's a negative comment or, whatever it may be. So to make your agents, really, really efficient so they can filter by those different tags based on the sentiment. So I'd say those are the three key components that Gorgias is really helping for, businesses to be as efficient as possible and to deliver that exceptional service is omni-channel support, strategic automation, and that sentiment detection.
That sentiment detection is such a game changer. I didn't know that Gorgias had that in your guys' platform, but that's just so phenomenal. And especially, I think, from the negative side of things, of when you want to respond so quickly to those. And just a lot of times, maybe it's, I can't get an answer on this. I can't find XYZ for whatever reason. Then being able to answer that. And a lot of times too, you can actually convert them into a customer. Yes, it's a negative, but when you have that, immediate customer response and support, they're like, wow, that brand XYZ is on top of it. No problem with whatever issue as I was experiencing, happy to continue the purchase. I think that that's just so important and crucial to have.
Yeah, 100%. And like taking it one step further in terms of the automation piece of it, you can, once that new ticket is created, let's say it's detecting negative sentiment, not only can you tag it as, a negative comment, but you can also automate the workflow. So like, let's say you have a support agent who only handles like negative reviews and negative comments. You can then automate that ticket to automatically assign it to that support agent. So then your support agents don't have to like dig through and spend a ton of time trying to find their tickets. It's automatically assigned to them. So again, you're able to respond really fast, capture on that, make the customer happy and, hopefully convert them into being a customer with you and to make that a more positive, happy experience for them. So yeah, that's one of my favorite features of Gorgias because there's just so many opportunities with it.
Yeah, that's definitely amazing. And I mean, just reading like the comments, and especially if there's a negative comment and then you see that the company has proactively tried to make it right, as someone who's just obviously scanning the reviews to see, will I buy from these people, seeing that they are proactive and that they are addressing not just positive reviews, but also negative reviews, it does, at least for me, it means a lot when I'm looking to buy a product. So that's definitely great.
Exactly. It builds this sense of trust, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the biggest pieces that brands are still trying to figure out how to relay to their customers, especially in the direct-to-consumer e-commerce world. When a customer or potential customer lands on your website, you have to make them feel trusted. You have to make yourself feel trusted right away, right? Because if they see one negative review, like I'm the same way. If I see a negative review or, I have some like security concerns about that website, I'm out, right? So as a brand, you have to capture on trust. You have to relay that message of trust. And so to your point, Nina, like it's so important to show customers that, you're constantly trying to provide an exceptional experience. You're trying to make your customers as happy and feel as safe as possible. And I think one of those ways to do that is by, of course, addressing the positive comments, but also addressing the negative comments as well. So I agree. I'm the same way, Nina.
Awesome. Well, this has all been really, really fascinating, but unfortunately we are out of time. So I'd like to end on the final question that we ask all of our guests, and that is, if our listeners come away from this episode with one thing they can start implementing today that will help them accelerate their business, what would that be?
Yeah, so I would say my top tip is to, if there's anything you take away from this, it's to change your thoughts about what customer support has historically been seen as. Because customer support has historically been seen as an additional cost for your brand, right? It's never been seen as a way to actually, make profit and to, be a legit revenue stream for your business. So if there's anything that should be taken away from this episode, it's that customer support can be your next big profit center. There is so much opportunity there. And when you invest in your customer experience, you will see the return.
Awesome. Fantastic tip. Thank you so much for joining us, Mia. Adam, it's been a pleasure having you on.
Thank you. So happy to join.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of Optily Radio, Accelerate E-commerce Marketing. We're, of course, brought to you by Optily, the new Shopify app that's revolutionizing how store owners manage their ad spend across Facebook, Instagram, Google, and YouTube. If you're one of the millions who is struggling to know where to spend your marketing dollars for the most impact, try out Optily free for 2 weeks. Watch your returns increase, hours open up in your schedule, and achieve your business goals fast. Learn more at optily.com. We'll catch you back here next time on Optily Radio for more expert tips on growing your online store through marketing. Take care.